In Vedana Nupassana, in the Satipatthana, the feelings are classified according to pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, right? And there's also another classification on samisa and niramisa, which is worldly and non-worldly. And you're supposed to identify what is worldly and unworldly in your discussion soon.
I would say the word feeling mean to me, the feeling means to me is more to the mind, and the feeling can arise from physical sensation in relation to physical sensation or in relation to a mental state. For example, just now when I did the experiment Bhante asked us to do, when I open the eyes, I see the flower in front of me, and I check this seeing, this contact itself, what kind of feeling it brings to me. I check there is a small pleasant feeling by looking in the flower. So this feeling is related to something which I, from the eyes or from the senses door. Okay, okay, and also they can be, there is a mental image appear in my mind, someone who I liked. Okay, and when this mental image appear in my mind, and I can check what is the feeling in relation to this mental image, then it could be pleasant or unpleasant feeling. And also in our discussion, if someone who do not like the flowers, there might be an unpleasant feeling arise in his or her mind. So feeling is something is also depends on the conditionalities, of the person. So this is how I believe, because I've been practicing meditation and it's programmed my mind to understand feeling in this way. So this is how it means to me, feelings. And also, just now also we're talking about if I thought about this, then I answer the second question.
What is the difference between feeling and emotion?
Okay, the feeling and emotion. Also we discussed about this emotion. Emotion is a very general term. Okay, emotion, when I feel angry, okay, it could be now angry. I'm not sure whether angry is an emotion or not, but an emotion is a very strong feeling. Just how someone said, emotion is a very strong feeling. It could be felt, maybe that if you are feeling angry, heartbeats, So this is the physical part. And also this anger itself doesn't feel good for you, so it also covers feeling. And also anger itself is a mental state. So our conclusion is emotion, it covered all three aspects: physical, mental, kaya, and the feelings, vedana, and the chitta. So also the dhamma. So, and also come to the last part of the question, worldly and unworldly. So we define that unworldly is something related to supramundane. So it's something related to enlightenment, or maybe before you gain the enlightenment, for the renunciates or the meditators, because they are so desire to gain enlightenment. So maybe this attachment to enlightenment, it can there is a feeling born of it, you will feel disappointed. So this type of attachment to enlightenment, which is something unworldly, so this feeling which born from this is unworldly, and the feeling born from worldly means attachment to the material things, whether wealth or your partner or whatever. So any feelings, whether pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral feelings that that arise in relation to this worldly stuff is worldly feeling, which is related to spiritual longing, that one is unworldly feelings.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to have any comments or additions to what he says, what he has just said? You all agree or disagree? Silence means consent. Yes, please.
Bhante,
Yes.
our group has come up with the conclusion that these feelings have to do with the five senses, related to the five senses, not including the mind, which will be just pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral, just like the practice we did. Emotions will have to do with the sixth sense, which is the mind.
Six senses?
Sorry?
You said feelings has got to do with the five senses, and then emotions got to do with the six senses.
To the sixth sense, so the mind.
Sixth sense. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Anyone else?
Bhante. So similar to the history of Buddhism, we also come with two schools of thought. Now, the first one on feelings and emotions, one view is that emotions is the result coming from feelings. Yeah. The second view is that, similar to what the brother shared, when something comes through the five senses door, and then that will result in the three different types of feelings: pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Now, through the delusion that forms the thoughts of self and so on, we actually develop aversion or clinging to the object, the mental object, and that results in emotion. Okay. On the second part of the question, that would be
Worldly and unworldly feelings.
Worldly and unworldly. For worldly feelings, that would be anything that is coming from the physical senses, whereas the five senses, whereas unworldly is from thoughts.
From thoughts?
Yes. Yeah.
How about thoughts about the five senses?
I do not have the wisdom to answer that. The other school of thought would be worldly would be anything that we can experience, including thoughts, whereas unworldly would be the spiritual part, the feelings of loving kindness, and the four Brahma Viharas.
That's
Yeah.
positive. That's positive feelings. How about negative
Yes.
feelings?
Negative-
Unworldly feelings.
Negative unworldly feelings would be in the form of, let's say, the expectation to gain something from developing your spiritual self, your attachment to the activities such as meditation.
So that attachment is pleasant or unpleasant feeling?
Unpleasant. Unpleasant. Thank you.
Okay. For what I understand, attachment is either neutral or pleasant. The unpleasant feeling comes about because of the frustration of not getting what you are attached to, or separated from what you are attached to. Yes, please, sister. Please stand across.
Yeah, our group come to conclusion on worldly and non-worldly feelings. Worldly feelings, whether is pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, as long as they were associated with lobha, moha, and dosa, is called worldly feeling. Non-worldly feeling are those feeling which is associated with alobha, amoha, and adosa. For example, when we are in jhana stage, so we call that non-worldly feelings. So if we gain material, like example, Toto, we gain Toto, so we are very happy. That is called worldly feeling.
How about doing dana?
Dana, it depends on the state of mind. If a person giving dana without expect anything in return, so-called like non-self, meaning alobha, amoha, and adosa, then it is non-worldly feeling. If a person doing dana with expectation, I give $1, next day I will gain $10. So that one is called worldly feeling.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think what you all have shared quite reasonable. So maybe I could just sum up to say that the word feeling used as Vedana in the Pali scriptures refer to a very, very basic experience of pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. That's all. Whereas emotions is an English word that covers a wide range of composite experiences. Of course, feeling is also included. The basic feeling of pleasant, unpleasant, pleasantness, unpleasantness, and neutrality is also there. But it is also associated with thoughts, the thinking, imagination, and also bodily sensations. When a person feels, one has feels very angry. Not only do you feel unpleasant emotion in your mind, not only do you have angry thoughts connected with the subject of your anger, but your body also feels miserable, right? You feel burning sensation in your chest, and your stomach might feel very sour, and your heart will start to beat very fast. Your breathing rate also would increase. These are all physical manifestations of your mental reaction to whatever you are perceiving at that time. Okay, so that is called emotion. So emotion is actually something very encompassing. It's a composite experience, whereas feeling is something more fundamental and very basic, right? But there are also positive feelings, positive emotions. For example, metta, the 4 Brahma Viharas, they are also emotions because they involve pleasant feelings or neutral feelings, as well as thoughts. When you're sending loving kindness, for example, you're thinking, right? You're having thoughts, and you're also feeling very nice about it. So you could consider that also an emotion. So to sum up, feeling again is a very, very basic experience. And although the word feeling in English is used very broadly, to cover not only a basic experience of feeling as is used in Pali idiom, but also perception. I feel that this is not a good plan. That is a perception, right? Not that feeling is used like as though you are thinking, I think it's not a good plan. I perceive that it's not a good plan. So the word feeling is used very loosely in English. So sometimes people who are not familiar with Buddhist terms, when they come across the word feeling, it's a bit ambiguous for them what it really means, right? So feeling means something very basic: pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. Full stop. That's all. And whether it's worldly or not worldly, anything that's connected with the 5 senses, with the pursuit of pleasures of the senses, that's worldly. Unworldly is concerned with any pursuit of the spiritual path to go beyond the sensual pleasures and to achieve states of jhana or even higher than that, supramundane attainments like the various stages of awakening. All right. So in the course of one's spiritual practice, whether we are chasing after jhana or chasing after insight knowledge, and then when your desires or aspirations are frustrated, then you feel unhappy, right? Not, and that is unworldly, unpleasant feeling. Okay. Now, according to the Abhidhamma, not only according to the Abhidhamma, but according to the suttas as well, you cannot separate consciousness from sanya and vedana. Perception, feelings, and consciousness, they arise together. They are inseparable. So whenever there is any consciousness, any of the 6 sense consciousness arising, vedana will be there together with it. So that's why just now in our little experiment, I asked you to direct your attention to your senses, and then to see what you are feeling, in respect of the sense consciousness. But this is a very fine line, because the mind reacts. When the mind reacts to what you see, what you hear, then it's no longer the feeling of the eye consciousness or the ear consciousness, it becomes the feeling of the mind consciousness. So unless you are very sharp, you might not be able to differentiate whether that feeling actually comes from the mind consciousness or from the body consciousness or from the hearing, seeing, or whatever consciousness. Okay? According to now we come back to the Abhidhamma classification. According to the Abhidhamma, the 5 sense consciousness, out of the 5 sense consciousness, 4 of them has neutral feeling. That means whatever you see, hear, smell and taste is only neutral in feeling. And only the body consciousness has either sukha or dukkha. Either it's comfortable or uncomfortable. And then the mind consciousness has everything. It has, pleasant, unpleasant or neutral. But according to the suttas, it's a bit different. The suttas talk about pleasant feelings caused by the eye, born of the eye of Chakku Sampasajja Vedana, which means that is feelings born of eye contact, and feelings born of ear contact and so forth, and they're classified in three also. So it's 3 times 5, 15 types of feelings. Alright? So which one is right, it's up to you to verify. And it doesn't matter who is right, as long as you can see them arising and passing away. Right or not? Okay.